Reed's little brother is like 28, 30 years old, somewhere in there. I don't even know how old he is because Reed had been no contact for like 15 years and had just recently started talking to them again, and he died. But it wasn't a normal death. It was from extreme neglect, medical neglect, physical neglect, financial neglect, everything. And it was so ugly. Part 72 of sharing my story on here because it's so much easier than writing another book. As I start hearing what happened with his little brother, Grant, they were living on a farm. So two of his little brothers that were like in their 30s, early 30s, they were living on the farm where Reed had built their house right before him and I met and got married. And the neglect was so incredibly severe that even though Grant was incredibly sick, they were scared to do anything. They were scared to help him. It was just all this fear of like, what if something bad happens? And I'm like, your son just died. That is something bad that's happening. Like, why aren't you intervening? Why aren't you taking care of him? Like, there is something seriously broken with this family. So Reed's littlest sister, the youngest of all of them, there's like 15 kids. So Reed's littlest sister apparently had been on this warpath, like calling things out. She broke away from the family and she was the only one that was really taking a stand against all that was happening in the family. And her and I got on the phone a couple times and had really good conversations. But at the same time, I'm just like, I don't think anyone understands how severe this situation is. And then just a few days later, I get this text and they literally take his body and they go put him in some private burial, like states away. And it's them actually putting him in the ground. And you hear Reed's mother, Grant's mother, their mother, talking about how strong this other brother is as they're lowering their son into the ground. And she's talking about, oh, look at his big muscles.
Brandon is very strong. You can tell by his muscles.
And I'm just like, oh my God, this is what will happen to our family if I don't like break us out of this. Now, I knew it was bad. I did not know that neglect and financial abuse would and could be that severe. Like, it was mind-blowing to me. And so we started to take action. Reed was like, yeah, we got to do something about this. And I'm like, cool, but we also got to do something about our family because this is not okay. And the financial situation that we're in is not okay. Right around this time, our landlord contacts me. Now, the entire time I had no contact with the landlord because Reed was paying the bills. And she's like, I want you to understand how bad this situation is. You're like $12,000 behind on rent and you have been late every single month for 2 years. And I'm like, what the actual fuck? And so I start going through records. She starts going through records. Like, it is crazy. He has been paying like an extra $400 a month in late fees because he wasn't paying rent on time the entire time. And so this is when the kids start really getting involved. And I'm like, okay, y'all, we have to do something different financially. If not, we're going to lose this house. And I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know where we're going to go. Like, we need to work together and build a business. And so after a couple weeks of debating, we finally settled on functional human design because human design had helped us identify and our family identify each other and how to work with each other better, how to understand each other better. Like, when I looked at Reed's chart, I could see all of the narcissism, all the abuse patterns, just bold as day. And so it gave me this really solid foundation to work with where I could say, this is my shit, this is your shit. And I had never had that kind of power before because it was like I could just really easily call out abusive behavior with solid clarity without having anger and just be like, this is not okay. I had power for the first time to be really clear and direct with what we were experiencing. So we launched functional human design in August, and the kids are supposed to be involved with it too, but because Reed is right in the center of it, it's like too overwhelming for them. And I'm like, it's okay, I got it. Like, we'll just build it and we'll see what happens. And it goes really well for the first like month, but then the same cycle starts happening where Reed's overpromising, under-delivering, he's not doing his job, I'm carrying the whole weight. And it was actually quite a miracle, but it was terrifying at the same time.